Craig, very progressive horse.
But it's Craig. Look at him go. And Curry's going to bring up the first two. Craig won it by 2.5 on the open. It was gallant in defeat. El Rocco got home for third.
Hello everyone and welcome to my 2024 Moir Stakes Day preview. I'm recording this pretty early on Friday morning. I couldn't do it yesterday. For people that don't know, we had a horse running at Cranbourne, the Genius. Went to watch that win, and that was awesome. And that sort of restricted time for me to put the preview together. So apologies if my voice sounds a little bit slow and off because it is early in the morning. But we'll start with the Wall of Fame. Or we'll get onto the Wall of Fame, I should say, as we always do. You guys voted for Pinstripe to go up on the wall. Now we've officially made one row. So we've got, on the far left, Right to Party's or his Star. Then we've got Mornington Glory bolting in the Norman Carline Stakes, followed by Gentleman Roy winning the PB Lawrence, and you can see Pinstripe's nose at the back of the photo there. Then we've got Mornington Glory's win in the... We'll skip that. And then Pinstripe's win in the Group 1 Memsey Stakes. Race 1 is a 3-year-old handicap over the 1,600 metres. The favourite is Evaporate for the Lindsay Park team at the moment is at $2.80. We've got Captain Barbossa for Blake Shin, rider of the Genius, at $3.50. Coco Bill, $3.60. Those are the three main favourites. Twin Engine, good horse, $6.50. We're going to take a look at the replay of Evaporate. This was its last start win at the Valley when it beat Dom and Lavalier and Trunk and all them. Now, this race didn't rate very well at all, and that's why a few of the Racing.com experts are taking it on. But I thought its win was full of merit, won by 3 lengths. It made a wide early run, so I think the win looked better than what the data actually tells you. I think there's not much speed on Saturday. It can go from an outside gate to sit outside Coco Bill, which is likely to be the leader. And it's got the race fitness, and it's won 2 in a row, and I think it can make it 3 in a row Evaporate. I'm happy to have it on top, ahead of Coco Bill, who I think, as I said, will lead the race. It was a very impressive last start winner and can go on with it again. Captain Barbossa, same with Coco Bill, very good last start winner. Blake Shin retains the ride, which is promising for its chances. In Twin Engine, 5-length winner on the synthetic last start. Damien Lane on, it's a good chance. With Evaporate to start the day. Race 2 is a mare's benchmark, 74 over the 1,600 metres. The favourite is Le Mans, currently at $3.60. These odds have shifted since I did the screenshots of the odds at the time, which was yesterday morning, so I could get some of these odds wrong, but written in code, currently at $4.80. Y Marie is at $6. Arcana's been well backed, it's at about $9, and you've got longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start runs of both Le Mans and Charisse at Caulfield. This was in the race won by Lavazoo, Electrona second. Le Mans, I was very impressed with it on this day. It was first up, so I wasn't expecting it to do a whole heap, but it finished off really well. It got home for third in the end. Charisse was alright, battling back down towards the inside. Charisse draws low again. Le Mans draws wide again. I'm hoping Ethan Brown can be in the 3 wide line. Hopefully midfield at best. I'm assuming he'll get buried back to off midfield. Well, not buried, but he'll have to go back to off midfield from the gate. But if he can settle midfield in the 3 wide line with the rail and the true, I reckon he can make ground and run on, or she can make ground and run on. And I think Le Mans deserves to be on top. I've got 1 unit the win on it. I reckon it can go on with it. Fitter second up. Charisse in for second. This also get a cozy run. Third up Peking. It's a good chance. Y Marie will roll forward as 1-3 from its last 4. Tom Preble claims 3 kilos to take the weight off, which helps. And at a bit of a price, One Dream, One Soul was actually not too bad first up. And you can tie in the form with written in code, then I think it's fitter. Draws gate 13, so we'll probably get back and too far back. But I think it's a decent horse in time. I'll be following it. But on top, Le Mans in race 2. Race 3 is a benchmark 84 over the 1,600 metres. The favourite is Aramco at $3.90 for Blake Shin. Nails Murphy is in the market, currently at $4.40. La Zebra is at $4.60. Regal Zeus also right in the market at about $6, and you've got longer odds. So the rest, we're going to take a look at the last start jump out of Logan Street Lion. Now, this on top selection may surprise a few people, but I think this horse can strike first up. Its first up record is good in the past. It's 5 starts for 2 wins and 2 seconds. Can't get much better than that. Last time it was first up, it ran fourth, only beaten one length behind Estadio Mestala in a benchmark 88, 1500 metres up there in Sydney. That's decent form. This bit of work was pretty good. Draws gate 1, so can be in a non-speed position. Karen McAvoy rides, which is a good jockey booking. And I just think it's over the odds at $15. I think it can cause an upset. Sunsets, now this one's a bit of a... It maybe can run well first up. It'll obviously want further in time, but it draws gate 5, will land on speed. Celine Gaudreau claims 1.5 kilos. It's got the form on the board to be competitive in a race of this calibre. I think it's over the odds as well, but more confident on Logan Street Line. 0.25 units to win on Logan Street Line. In for third, I've got Aramco. This horse will be very hard to beat. It's fit, on speed. It's got the big weight, but I don't think that's much of a query for Aramco. It'll be running well and can most definitely win. And Kettle Hill, fourth up, was good last start behind Rise at Dawn. That's good form now. Draws gate 9, so we'll be running on late. And I think it's a decent chance, but I like Logan Street Line in race 3. Hopefully it can cause a boil over. Race 4 is benchmark 78 over the 2,040 metres. The favourite is Lincoln Rocks at $2.70 for Mark Zara. Lording is the second favourite at $3.80. Jayla Kennedy on. Name Dropper is the only other horse in single figures at the moment. It's at $8.50 and longer odds the rest. This was the last start run of both Lincoln Rocks and Lording. This was at Moonee Valley. Both their last start runs where Lording just got the job done late. Now, on this occasion, Lording was third up. Lincoln Rocks was fourth up. They both had every chance. And on top for me this Saturday is going to be Lording. I just think fourth up now, Lording can take even more improvement out of its last start run. Jayla Kennedy, the best apprentice probably in the country, or in Victoria at least, claims 2 kilos, bringing its weight back down so it's not really penalised for that win against Lincoln Rocks. And comparing the prices at the moment, I think Lording should be heaps shorter than what it is and potentially favourite ahead of Lincoln Rocks. That's why I've got it on top. I think there's value in that price and I'm happy to take it. It's currently at $3.80. I've got 1 unit that win on Lording. Lincoln Rocks can most definitely win. Gate 3 was close behind Lording last start. In for third, Denmark. Don't know too much about this horse. Chris Waller trains. Damien Lane rides to former import. It can be running well. Name Dropper, I've got him for fourth. This horse will roll forward for Blake Shin. Interesting placement up to the 2,000 metres. We'll see if he handles it. But I like Lording in race number 4. Race 5 is the listed Chautauqua Stakes over the 1,200 metres. The favourite is Arkansas Kid, $2 at the moment. It's well clear of a Little Deep, who is at $4.80. Also equal second favourite is Who Dares at $4.80. Then you've got $8 for both Savannah Cloud and Desert Lightning, and longer odds the rest. This was the last start jump out of Desert Lightning. This was at Pakenham where it tested Stay Focused in this most recent jump out. Now this horse's best form is over further, and it does have to carry the 61 kilos at its non-preferred distance. So off the back of that, you think, well, this horse will probably need the run, but first up record, 3 starts for 2 wins and a second, so it really flies fresh. I think this horse possesses the only genuine Group 1 form in the field. Like this horse, last preparation, ran in the All-Star Mile against Pride of Jenny and Mr. Brightside and all them. SP'd $18. Now, that wasn't a really big chance to win the All-Star Mile, but it wasn't a total outsider. I reckon this horse is clearly the best horse in the race, and from gate 3, I think it can have the speed to hold a position despite this distance not being its best distance, and I'm excited to see what it can do. And another reason I've got Desert Lightning on top is because I think there's no value with Arkansas Kid. I think he deserves to be favourite and should probably win the race, but I don't think there's much value in the $2 at the moment. Good return last start winner. They scratched it last week to go to this week, so we'll see how Arkansas Kid goes. It's a very good chance. In for third, I've got Savannah Cloud, who's also first up. This horse, last time it was first up, ran third behind Jimmy Star and Macram at Flemington. That was over 1,400, so 1,200 it probably will want further, but it's a good horse, and Who Dares can hold a position from gate 1 and be very hard to beat. But I'm excited to see what Desert Lightning can do in the Chautauqua Stakes. Race 6 is the listed Atlantic Jewel Stakes for the 3-year-old fillies over the 1,200 metres. This race has been dampened by a few key scratchings. Silmarillion, now the favourite at $2.50, coming down from Sydney. Immortal Star is at $3 and is the second favourite. Sassy Jenny is the third favourite at $7.50. Sakima at $8 is next best. And then you've got longer odds for the rest. We'll take a look at the last start jump out of Sassy Jenny. I didn't mind this bit of work actually. It covered ground out there on the Flemington inner track and finished off nicely. It's had 3 jump outs in preparation for this first up run, so I think they've got it cherry ripe. That's what I said about another Jenny last week, Pride of Jenny, and well, that didn't go to plan, did it? But I think Sassy Jenny can get the job done on Saturday. From gate 4, it can be on speed, which around the valley is, well, pretty good. Last start, it ran third behind a good horse called Growing Empire at Moonee Valley. That was its last run before it went for a spell. Now it comes back, and I think it's good enough to win a race of this quality. I've got it on top. In for second, I've got another Hayes train runner, Viola Vivace. I like this horse's debut win a lot at Mornington. Then it went to Hobart and ran second behind GG's Miss Truth, who went on to run second behind Drifting in the Quizette Stakes. So I reckon this horse is over the odds with Viola Vivace and can run a race. Immortal Star in there for third. This horse was a good last start winner when I was on for Blake Shin. It should be settling midfield or so and be charging home late. Silmarillion is still a maiden, hasn't won a race yet, but ran second behind Amina last start up there in Sydney. Settles on speed from gate 2, and that's really good form. So it can most definitely win. It's an open race, but I think Sassy Jenny represents some value at $7.50. It's that time of the week. It's last man standing, and last week I think everybody lost everything. I don't think one of our competitors won a single thing, not even me. So we're going to have to bounce back this week. Geordie's still on top, and he's the only one in the green at the moment, I think. So we'll move on to what we're doing this week. Geordie is having 50 the win on Giga Kick and 50 the win on Estriella in the 2,000 metre races across both states of New South Wales and Victoria. Cole is having something very similar, just a different horse in the Moir. 50 the win on Giga Kick, 50 the win on Lady of Camelot. Then we've got Sammy, he's having a $50 all-up win. Amina into Pericles. Then we've got Braden, that's it. 50 the win on Zardozi, 50 the win on Amelia's Jewel up there in Sydney. I'm going to have a $50 win on Pericles and then a $50 win all-up. A few good experts like Martini Mama up there in New South Wales. I'm going to have a $50 win all-up that into Pericles. So really relying on Pericles. And Sky High Horse Racing, well, I'm not going to run through them all, but pause if you want to see all his win all-ups. That's what we're doing for Last Man Standing this week. Race 7 is the listed Mackenzie Stakes for the 3-year-old colts and geldings over the 1,200 metres. Epimels is the favourite at $3.10, currently ahead of Public Attention, who is at $4.60. Then you've got out to about $6 for Angel Capital, Red Sea and Stolly Bolly, both at $7.50. Sergeant Majors around the $8.50 mark. Longer odds to the rest for only 2 other horses in double figures, which is Bazasto 10 and Extreme Diamond 13. This was the last start jump out of Epimels at Cranbourne. This is a very progressive horse. It is 2 from 2 in its career. Most notably last start winning the Anzac Day Stakes, which is a 2-year-old 1,400 metre race on Anzac Day, obviously. Now this was a very good jump out, beating Growing Empire, who won last week at Caulfield. From gate 1, I'm hoping Johnny Allen can box seat. We'll need luck in the straight, but we'll get a good run box seating in my opinion. And I think it's good enough to win. It'll probably want further in time being a done deal, but I've got 1 unit the win on it. I reckon it's a very progressive horse. Public Attention in there for second was a very good debut winner at Caulfield. It's had a bit of time between that run, so might need a run to get fit, but it's had some jump outs in between, and it's got the Coolmore colours, so it should be running well. In for third, I've got Stolly Bolly. This horse was good last start behind Daggers at the Valley. From gate 8 will be wide for Daniel Stackhouse and trying to run on down the outside. And in for fourth, I've got Bazasto. Blake Shin first up, and it's double figures. You don't see too many of those, but I think he can run a race. I like Epimels to take out the first leg of the quaddie. Race 8 is the So You Think Stakes over the 1,500 metres. The favourite is Pericles at $2.25, ahead of Moonee, who is the second favourite, at about $6. Then you've got out to $9 for Attrition, and longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start run of Pericles Pounding and also Moonee. This was in the PB Lawrence, won by Gentleman Roy. Pinstriped runs second, obviously goes on to win the Memsey Stakes, so it's good form. Pericles started favourite on this day. and was pretty good. It copped some interference at the top part of the straight, had to go back to some inferior ground. Now second up, fitter. Blake Shin retains the ride. Gate 8 I think is absolutely ideal. Can be in the 3 wide line midfield, peel out around them, go Wooshka in the straight and win. The only query I have with Pericles is the second up syndrome factor, but if that doesn't play a factor, it should be winning this race, and I'm confident it can do so. 2 units the win. In for second, I've got Pounding. This horse from gate 2 can settle closer than what it did in the PB Lawrence Stakes, and I think it can run well. In for third, I've got Showmanship. This horse beat Jimmy the Bear last start, has had some time since that run, so might need the run, but it's 5 from 5 on good tracks. If we get to a good track on Saturday, it comes into play, which we should. Gate 4, we'll get a good run, and Rolls. Backing up for the 3rd week in a row, back to the 1500 metres at the Valley. Can it do what it did last start? Actually, no, it doesn't back up again because it got scratched from Caulfield last week. It retains its position at the Valley 1500 metre start. It could go to the front and not be caught again, but I like Pericles to take out the So You Think Stakes. Race 9 is the big one. It's the Group 1 Moir Stakes over the 1,000 metres. Lady of Camelot is the favourite at the moment at $3.50, but it's equal favourite with Estriella, who is also at $3.50. I Wish I Win is at $4.60, and then we've got double figures the rest. I didn't take long analysing this race because I've just gone with the best horse in the race, and that is I Wish I Win. This was its last start jump out at Pakenham. It's got the residual fitness from the Queensland Carnival, so I think it's actually pretty forward for this run. It will want further than 1,000 metres in time, but it ran second, and it's only run at 1,000 metres behind Cool and Gatta in the Newmarket handicap. I think from gate 5 it'll get to 2 to 3 pairs back on the outside, and hopefully it can do, if anyone remembers Imperatriz's performance in the McEwen Stakes of 2023 when it beat Giga Kick, came from last and just stormed around them. I'm hoping that's what I Wish I Win can do. Definitely has the class to do so, and I just think it's the best horse in the race, and I'm actually quietly confident it can get the job done. In for second, I've got Lady of Camelot, 50 kilos, front runner, Moonee Valley. It's a recipe for success, and we've seen it happen before. It's a good chance. Estriella in there for third. Now goes to Wait for Age against the big boys and girls, but I think it can take that rising grade well. Blake Shin retains the ride. Probably will be settling on the outside of Lady of Camelot in the lead. And in for fourth, another Moody Coleman first up horse, Chain of Lightning. Last preparation Group 1 winner, Gate 4, Damien Lane, is also a good chance. But I Wish I Win to win the Moir. Race 10 to finish the day is a benchmark 84 over the 1,200 metres. The favourite is Piastri coming down from Sydney. It's at $3.30 ahead of Verdad, who is first up at $5. Miss Aria is at $6, out to $8.50 for Beast Mode. Longer odds the rest. We're going to take a look at the last start jump out of Verdad. I've just realised how many horses I've got on top on Saturday that are first up. Verdad's another one. Look, its form from last preparation will indicate it wants further in time, but this jump out was good. This jump out was very good. On debut, when it was first up, it ran in a 1,300 metre race. This is 1,200. The only thing that's stopping me from making this horse, or having units on this horse, is Gate 1, late in the day. It could be the inferior ground, and also it could get trapped with such a big field on the inside. But I think it's the best horse in the race, the most progressive horse in the race, and I think it can get the job done on Saturday. I've got it on top. Ahead of, in for second, I've got Superazi. This horse was good last start behind Extra 2. Taylor Childs claims 3, and it's good enough to win. In for third, Missaria. Blake Shin rides this horse. It's rock hard fit. Will be storming home from gate 8. And Piastri, who's been a last start winner up there in New South Wales and draws gate 6 for a good run, will be running its best race. But I like Verdad to take out the last on Moir Stakes Day. Now it's time for the quaddie. Back to reality last week where I only got one leg, and that was another Will in the last race. But apart from that, there's not much else to say from last week. We'll move on to what we're doing this week, going for 4 horses in the first leg, 2 Epimels, 3 Public Attention, 5 Red Sea, and 8 Stolly Bolly. Then into the So You Think Stakes, going for 2 Pericles, 7 Pounding, 9 Rolls, and 10 Showmanship. Just my top 4 in that one. In race 9, the Moir Stakes, 1 I Wish I Win, 6 Estriella, and 8 Lady of Camelot. Hopefully we can get away with the 3 favourites. And then in the last race, going for 1 Super Razzie, 3 Beast Mode, 6 Vedad, 8 Miss Aria, and 10 Piastri. That's what I'm doing for the quaddie this week. Thanks everyone for watching my Moir Stakes Day preview. Sorry it wasn't out at the usual time, but this week it's a 5.25 unit spend. I think we need at least 2 winners to make a profit this week, so the pressure goes up a bit, but I think I've got some pretty good chances in this staking plan and looking forward to the day. Thanks everyone for watching. Until next week's preview, bye for now.